In this lecture, I will focus on keyboard shortcuts that you can use in the system. First, I will tell you about the general shortcuts that you can use on every list, on every card of the system. Then we will go through some documents shortcuts that will help you to input the data into the documents, and then a few words about some shortcuts connected with filtering. First, to open the company, you can use Ctrl O. System opens a menu when you can choose your company. If you use Alt and left and right arrow, system will navigate through the pages you used. So when I click some pages, I go with Alt left arrow and Alt right arrow. This is the same function as those two arrows near the address bar has. If you want to go directly into search in the top right corner, you can go with Ctrl F3. You can also go to each function in the ribbon using Alt. So if I go with Alt, then you need to choose what tab you want to use or the menu. So I will choose M and then W to set the work date. Again, Alt, N like navigate, I like items. So I can enter any function available in the ribbon. If I want to collapse or expand ribbon, I can go with Ctrl F1. System will hide the ribbon and will save some space on the screen. If you want to add new record, for example, new vendor in this case, we can go with Ctrl N on the list. System will open new clean vendor card and wait for the data to be entered. If you want to delete the record, you can go with Ctrl Delete. System also opens the card and asks us about the decision, so I will delete this vendor. If you want to see vendor entries, you can use Ctrl F7. System opens vendor ledger entries and filters the data for this vendor. This shortcut works on any list in the system. If you go to customers, go and Ctrl F7, you will have customer ledger entries. If you go to items and go with Ctrl F7, you will have item ledger entries and so on. If you want to close active window, just go with escape. This works if I open some details. I will open item card. I will open some posting groups. Each time a new window opens. So now with escape button, I can close, escape, escape. I can close each window and go to the place when I started. So I can go with our entries. You can of course check the most popular shortcuts. If you go on the icon and wait for a second, system will show you also the shortcut if it's possible. You can move this view into the Excel with Ctrl E. System opens and creates Excel file. it's in here, and you can use Word as well with Ctrl W. If you want to copy rows and move it somewhere else, you need to go with Ctrl, Shift and C, or right click and copy rows. If you want to copy single value, just go with Ctrl C or copy cell. If you want to navigate on the list, you can use Home to go to the first column and End to go to the last column. If you want to go on top, go with Ctrl Home. System will move you up in the first row. Ctrl End moves you to the last row and the last column. Now you go with Home and you are in the first column. If you open single vendor card or any card in the system, you can navigate through the fields using Tab. System goes field by field. If you enter the field you want to edit, you can use F2. System will open this field to be edited and you can type the changes. If you find field that is connected with another table, you can use F4 and open the values. And then tap to open. If you want to collapse or expand the tab, you go with Alt F6. If you want to save your changes, just go with Ctrl Enter. This is the same as pressing OK. System saves the data and closed the windows. If you want to add few new vendors one by one, you can go with New first. You can add test vendor and you can use Ctrl Shift and Enter, the same as in here. So OK and New. In this case, system will add this information and prepare new clean card to be filled in. Let's close it. If you open single vendor card, the same shortcuts works as it was on the list. So Ctrl F7 for the entries, F7 for statistics. If you want to know some details about the page and the table that is the source for the page, you can use Ctrl Alt F1. System will show you basic page informations, the source table and the page name, and the table fields. These are all the fields and the fields value with all the information about our vendor. You can use the shortcuts also in documents. I will show you those on the sales orders.